Monday, September 17th. It's been a while, but locate your logic problems, whether you did it digitally, go into classroom, or if you have any on paper, you want to grab them and pull them out. We're going to go over the answers here soon. And then your table talk. How do you solve hard or difficult problems? So our outcomes, carrying over 6 of them from last week, the collecting distance and time and collaborating, analyzing and participating and accurately collecting and graphing data is from last week. It means we will continue with our superworm activity. And then the only new one is that you are introduced to at least one new strategy you could consider when it comes to problem solving. So the lesson plan is a discussion of difficult problem tips. What does science say? And then go into some review of some difficult problems, and then give you the remainder with your superworm. So some things to think about when you are learning anything, but specifically when you're working with difficult problems and it takes concerted time and effort. Some factors that science has shown plays a big role in your success. Getting enough sleep at your age level, 9 to 12 hours. Doesn't have to be continuous, but the more of it is, the better. Take a nap at mid-afternoon. I know it's hard to do in class, so maybe after school on days where you worked really hard or you're tired, it is natural. You benefit from even a short nap, even a 10-minute power nap. Take breaks. Do things like interleaving. If you have more than one activity, spend maybe 15 minutes on one and then go over and spend 15 minutes on something unrelated. What works best are things like 15 minutes of focused math, and then maybe play your instrument for 15 minutes and then go back, or go outside and work on an athletic skill you were working on and then go back. You can maximize time in both areas. No distractions. No such thing as multitasking. Music, it needs to be the right type, the right kind, if it's on at all, but non-repetitive and non-vocal during attentive periods. I know kids don't like this, but classical, certain types of jazz. There are certain types of music that are less popular with the youth that does fit that role really well. Discussing problems others, we'll talk about argumentation and how well our brains identify weaknesses and arguments of others, but is really bad at identifying weaknesses and arguments of our own with bias. And by argument, I don't mean watching two people hash it out, yelling at each other. What we think about argument in regular terms is more along just verbal fighting. And then be patient. Neural connections and synapses and axons and myelin sheath and all this stuff that happens during learning takes time. I had a doctor once tell me that maximum neural growth is a millimeter a day maximum, and although that's not a direct measurement of the learning we're doing in class, it does remind us how slow these adaptations take place, so we have to be patient. All right, on with the logic problems. We review the answers to the 3 doors, the farmer, the notable neighbors, and the Zuli problems. And once we're done, you're given the rest of the time to accomplish the 3 things from last week. So be sure you press on, work hard, finish up what you can. We'll come back tomorrow and see what we've got.